Hi, my name is Ashley Friend, and today we're going to be talking about the difference between area and perimeter. Today, our essential questions are: what is area? What is perimeter? What is the formula to find area? And what is the formula to find perimeter? So we're here in this kitchen today to learn the basics of area and perimeter. If you'll notice, the floor that I'm standing on is made up entirely of these 1 foot by 1 foot tile squares. Let's take a look. If you take a look at the floor here, I've used some red streamer to demonstrate the difference between area and perimeter. We're going to call this red line that goes around the tile our boundary line. Now, when we're talking about perimeter, the perimeter is the continuous line that forms the boundary of this closed geometric figure, which in this case is a square. So, if I was to pick this up and stretch it out, the perimeter should be 1, 2, 3, 4 feet in length. The area is the size of the surface or the size of the space inside of the boundary line. So, in this case, it's 1 square foot. Now, let me demonstrate this a little bit more closely. For perimeter, again, perimeter is the length of the outside boundary line. So, if I pick it up, and I stretch out, I'm going to connect these lines together to make one big line. So now that we've connected all of the streamers together, the length should be 4 feet. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4 feet. So this is the length of the perimeter. Now let's look at a different shape. If you take a look, this shape includes 2 squares. We have our red boundary line just like before. So let's talk about the area and the perimeter. The perimeter, as we said before, is the line and the length of the line that goes around the shape. So, in this case, we're talking about feet. So we have 1 foot, 2 feet. So there's 2 feet on this side, and there's 2 feet on this side. There's 1 foot on this side, and 1 foot on this side. So, to find the length of this red line all the way around, we're going to add up 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. So, 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. And 5 plus 1 is 6. So, our perimeter should be 6 feet. To find our area, we're going to multiply. When we do the area, we only look at the length and the width. So we're not going to multiply all 4 of the sides. We're just going to multiply 2 of the sides. We're going to multiply the length, which is this line, times the width, which is this line. So our length in this case is 2 feet, 1, 2. And our width is 1. So we're going to multiply 2 times 1, which is 2 square feet. And if you count, you can see the squares. 1, 2. And we have 2 squares right there in the middle. To demonstrate area and perimeter a different way, we're going to show area and perimeter using some cheese crackers. So I'm going to form a shape on my paper plate here. When we looked at the tile squares, we were looking at 1 foot by 1 foot squares. Now we are looking at 1 inch squares, 1 inch by 1 inch squares. So if we take a look, I've formed a shape. And first let's look at perimeter. If we look at the perimeter here, we've got 1, 2, 3 inches here. I look at the side, we have 1, 2 inches here. Now, if this side has 3 inches, then this side must have 3 inches too, since this is a rectangle. And since this side had 2 inches, then the top must be 2 inches as well. Now that we know the lengths of our sides, we can figure out the perimeter of our rectangle. Now remember, the perimeter of the rectangle is the length of the boundary line that goes all the way around the shape. So in this case, we're going to say it is 3, and I'll write this down, 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2. So if we add up, and remember our unit is inches, so 3 plus 2 is 5, and 3 plus 2 is 5, and 5 plus 5 is 10. So the length of the outside of our shape is 10 inches. If we counted it up, we could even count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the outside is 10 inches long, and that is our perimeter. So I'm going to put P equals 10, and I'm going to circle that. Now, to find the area, we will multiply. Now remember, when we find area, we don't multiply all of the sides, we just multiply the length times the width. So in this case, that would be 3 multiplied by 2. So I'll write that over here. 3 times 2. And we know that 3 times 2 is 6. So we're going to write 6 inches squared. So if we count, we should have 6 square inches here in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So over here we can put A for area, equals 6 square inches. And we found the area and the perimeter for this shape. All right, let's do one more shape with our cheese crackers. In this example, we have 4 inches on this side and 1 inch on this side. Now, without counting all of our sides like we did last time, we're just going to use that information, 4 inches and 1 inch, to figure out our area and our perimeter. So let's think back. Area is the inside, right? Inside of our boundary line is where we find our area. So we can, if we're just using crackers, we could count, but let's go ahead and multiply to get ready for bigger problems. So we're just going to multiply our length times our width. So in this case, we're going to multiply 4 times 1. And we all know 4 times 1 is 4. So over here next to A, I'm going to write 4 inches squared. And we write the squared because it's not just 1 inch, it's an entire square. And if we count to double check our answer, we can count 1, 2, 3, 4 square inches. Now for our perimeter, if you remember, the perimeter is the outside or the length of the boundary line. So without counting, we know this is 4 inches and we know this is 1 inch. So if this is 4 inches, the other side must be 4 inches as well. So 4 plus 4 is 8. And if this is 1 inch, this must mean that this one is 1 inch as well. So if we have 8 on our length, plus 1 plus 1 is 2. So 8 plus 2 is 10. I'm going to put 10 inches. So perimeter equals 10 inches. We're going to do 2 final examples. Now these are a little bit closer to what you're going to see in math class if you were to look in your textbook or something like that. Now remember, perimeter is the sum of all sides, and area is the length times the width. So here we have 2 inches and 5 inches for our lengths. So to find the perimeter, we have to find the sum of all the sides. So we should have 2 plus 2 plus 5 plus 5. So 5 plus 5 is 10. 2 plus 2 is 4. So 10 inches plus 4 inches is 14 inches. And I'm going to put equals P for perimeter. Now, to find the to find the area, you're going to multiply the length times the width. In this case, it's 2 times 5, which is 10. And since it's talking about area, we're going to say 10 squared inches. For our final problem, we have a length of 9 feet and 3 feet. So to find our perimeter, we need to add those lengths together. So 9 plus 9 is 18, and 3 and 3 is 6. So we're going to add 18 plus 6. 8 plus 6 is 14. Carry the 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So our perimeter should be 24 feet. And we'll put equals P. For our area, we have 9 and 3, so we're just going to multiply 9 times 3. And 9 times 3 is 27. So we have 27 feet squared, or 27 square feet. And we're going to put equals A to show that that is the area. So let's review everything we learned today about area and perimeter. We learned that the line that goes around a shape is called a boundary line. The perimeter is the length of the boundary line. It is found by adding the length of all the sides together. The area is the space inside the boundary line. It is found by multiplying the length by the width. So I hope you have fun learning about area and perimeter today. See you next time!